Douglas MacArthur was one of the most influential and controversial military leaders in American history. He was born in 1880 in Little Rock, Arkansas, to a family with a long tradition of military service. He graduated from West Point in 1903 and served in various posts in the Philippines, Japan, and China. He rose to prominence during World War I as the Chief of Staff of the 42nd Division, nicknamed the Rainbow Division for its diverse composition. He earned several decorations for his bravery and leadership, including the Distinguished Service Cross and the Silver Star. After the war, MacArthur became the superintendent of West Point, where he modernized the curriculum and discipline. He also served as the commander of the U.S. Army's Philippine Division and later as the military advisor to the Philippine government. In 1930, he was appointed as the Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army by President Herbert Hoover. He oversaw the Army's response to the Bonus Army March in 1932. A controversial decision that involved using tanks and tear gas to disperse thousands of unemployed veterans who were demanding early payment of their bonuses. MacArthur was criticized by some for his excessive use of force and praised by others for his decisive action. In 1935, MacArthur retired from active duty and returned to the Philippines as a civilian advisor to President Manuel Quezon. He helped organize and train the Philippine Army in preparation for a possible Japanese invasion. When World War II broke out in 1939, MacArthur was recalled to active duty and became the commander of U.S. forces in the Far East. He led the defense of the Philippines against overwhelming Japanese attacks, but was forced to retreat to the island of Corregidor in 1942. He famously vowed, "I shall return," before escaping by PT boat to Australia. From there, he became the supreme commander of Allied forces in the Southwest Pacific area and launched a series of island-hopping campaigns that gradually pushed back the Japanese. He also oversaw the occupation and reconstruction of Japan after its surrender in 1945. He implemented democratic reforms and economic recovery programs that transformed Japan into a modern and peaceful nation. In 1950, MacArthur was appointed as the commander of United Nations forces in Korea, where he led a successful counterattack against North Korean invaders. However, he clashed with President Harry Truman over the conduct and direction of the war, especially after China intervened on behalf of North Korea. MacArthur advocated for expanding the war into China and using nuclear weapons if necessary, while Truman favored a limited war and a negotiated settlement. MacArthur also publicly criticized Truman's policies and tried to undermine his authority. In 1951, Truman relieved MacArthur of his command for insubordination and replaced him with General Matthew Ridgway. MacArthur returned to the United States as a hero and received a ticker-tape parade in New York City and an address to Congress. He retired from public life and settled in New York City, where he died in 1964 at the age of 84. MacArthur's legacy is complex and controversial. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest military commanders in history, but also as one of the most arrogant and insubordinate. He is praised for his strategic vision and humanitarianism, but also criticized for his egotism and ruthlessness. He is remembered as a liberator and a reformer, but also as a dictator and a warmonger. He is honored as a patriot and a hero, but also reviled as a traitor and a villain.